But yeah, let's address the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the Pursuit season infographic. We would like to provide information on the season's infographic for the World Arena Pursuit season completion, which ended December 14th. Now remember, it ended a week early. So when comparing this to prior seasons, remember that we had 1 week less of this season than other seasons. Pre-ban. The pre-ban rates for heroes refers to the percentage of matches in which the hero is pre-banned amongst matches. For example, if a hero's pre-ban rate is 50%, it means that the hero was pre-banned for half of the matches counted. Okay, for those of you who did not understand what 50% meant, there you go. First pick, the term first pick refers to the... I'm not even going to read this, guys. If you can't figure out what first pick means, then I don't know what to say. Okay. Top 20 pre-bans, all stages. Harsetti with a bullet at nearly 70% pre-ban rate. That's the biggest red flag I've ever seen that says a unit is a problem, is that 70% of the time the unit is pre-banned. That's insane. 66% pre-ban's bad enough. We all knew Luna was broken, but holy crap, Harsetti's pre-banned more than Luna. That's crazy, guys. 70% pre-ban rate is off the charts. So that shows that Harsetti is indeed a significant problem for RTA. Top 10 pre-bans early stage. So early stage, and the reason for this is Harsetti came out kind of in the middle of this, and that's why early on Luna was a lot more prominent. Harsetti was just getting a toehold. By mid-stage, she had started to show her worth, and by late stage, she had taken over RTA in general. So comparing the league, comparing Oath, Contention, and Pursuit season. So Pursuit is the current, or was the most recent season, and these are the last 2 seasons. But yeah, we went from see, this is kind of what health would look like, right? Pre-bans are kind of all over the place, right? They're a little bit more dependent on your play style. This shows, you know, 2 units are kind of running the show over here. New Moon Luna's showing she's a little bit strong, but this shows a significant drop in diversity of units when everybody is pre-banning the same units. Why bother having pre-bans? Why not just say everybody is going to be permanently banned? No, these units will be permanently banned. I'm not a huge fan of this. And this is Champion League and above. Emperor League and above, it's even worse. For Harsetti taking the L 71% of the time, and 71.6 in Legend and above. I mean, even the Legend people say, I don't want to deal with this unit. As for first pick, Afternoon Soak Flan, 28%. First pick. Let me open your eyes to how crazy this is. This is the entire season, from the 28th of September till now. Flan didn't even come out until the last few weeks of RTA. There are several weeks where she was at a 0 pick rate because she didn't exist yet, and she is still almost double the second most picked unit, with only a handful of weeks in season to be picked at all. That's crazy. So that kind of shows that it's like you either pulled Flan from the limited banner, or you didn't really get to play RTA in any meaningful way. You didn't really have any way to deal with this unit. Yes, the early stages, her picks were very respectable because she had just come out for a couple of days. What is she late stage, though? Holy crap, 34 and 28, 5%? Crazy. I'm actually surprised that this late stage wasn't higher. But I guess Imperial and Ilanov did come out and kind of steal a lot of thunder. So yeah, these 4 units were your first picks, pretty much. It falls off of the chart below Seafan and Polly being first picked. Okay, so at a 28% win rate, she's still at a 51%. Anything over a 50% win rate is pretty freaking impressive. Anything over a 52, 53% win rate is kind of broken. So a 55% win rate on Imperial Ilanov is very, very broken. Game-breakingly broken. 53% on New Moon Luna. Game-breakingly broken. 52% on Dragon Bride Senya is very, very high end of solid, and the 51% are still insane. Bloodblade Corinne at 52.3. I'm surprised that's actually not higher. You go back and look at the Oath season, our last semi-balanced season, you'll see you aren't going to see anybody in the 53 range, with the exception of Sea Phantom Polly, because we didn't really have counters for her back then, but everything... Oh, wow, Abyssal Euphine was actually up there, 54%. I don't like seeing this many units in the 52 to 55% range. It means people are just going to play these units and no one else. Blood Moon Haste is impressively holding on at a 53% win rate. Didn't drop at all from last season. And of course the same stats for Emperor and Legend. That there's a unit with a 53% win rate in Legend, or 55% win rate in Legend, is crazy to me. Wow. Top 20 picks all stages. Afternoon Soak Flan, BBK, Dragon Bride Senya, Tywin, Death Dealer Ray, Sea Phantom Polly, Empyrean Ilanov. I don't think I saw a match the entire season that didn't include at least 2 of these 7 units. Early, mid, late. So this is what we're most familiar with. This is when everyone's doing push, and this is what it looked like. Empyrean Ilanov, Last Rider Crow, had a bit of a resurgence because he synergized great with Afternoon Soak Flan and Lua. Overall thoughts. Okay, here we go, guys. The Pursuit season marked the second season featuring the band protection system and saw a rise in the number of new meta centered around the new boss hero, Harsetti. Despite the season being shortened by 1 week, the total number of matches held in the Champion League and above increased by approximately 8% compared to previous season. We salute the effort of all heirs who lit up the battlefield with more intense competition than ever. Looking back on the overall Pursuit season, the influences of heroes like Sea Phantom, Politis, and Knockwall remained strong, but showed a decline compared to previous seasons. Yeah, because they came out with more broken units to use in place of those units, of course. This shift was likely due to the introduction of Harsetti and Empyrean Ilanov, what I just said, at the start of the season. Harsetti played a central role in shaping the season's meta by countering high-speed heroes while enabling a strategic use of diversity of ranges of heroes. What? I'm not sure I believe this last sentence. Because I'm not sure the heroes that you picked with Harsetti are any different than the heroes you picked normally. You just picked Harsetti to basically take skill out of the fight and make it a 50-50 chance to win. That's why she has a 70% pre-ban rate, but a 50% win rate. On the nose. Holy shit, guys. Look at this. 50.0% win rate. It's crazy that a unit that is a skill neutralizer that makes the winning of the fight a 50% coin flip chance to win has exactly a 50.0% coin flip chance to win fights. That's the most amazing metric I think I've ever seen. So yeah, I think this is tone deaf. I think she does not enable a strategic use of a diverse range of heroes. She enables you to pick one unit, flip a coin, and see if you win, and you still pick the same heroes that you would normally pick in a fight. That's a lie. Empyrean Ilanov also demonstrated remarkable strength in various situations, the various situations being you first pick her, unless you first picked Flan. With her pre-ban and first pick rates rising as the seasons progressed, as people realized how incredibly broken she was. Additionally, immortal heroes like Bloodblade Corinne and Inheritor Amiki were highly favored. BBK more than Amiki, but Amiki was pretty good. While older heroes such as Mort and designer Lilibet and Last Rider Crow made a comeback, they had buffs. So it's kind of hard to say that they made comebacks more than that. They were buffed into the meta. Because the buffs to LRK, Designer Lilibet, and especially to Mort were extremely meta-centric buffs. Finally, the stellar performance of Afternoon Soak Plan, the most popular pick amongst heirs, perfectly encapsulated the excitement of the season. Perfectly encapsulated the excitement of the season. Pick a limited unit. Make sure you pull the limited unit and gear the limited unit, and you can have an exciting season. If you don't buy the thing that we're selling, you don't get to be a part of the excitement that this unit encapsulated this season. Nah, fam. I'm sorry. In summary, while the impact of new heroes stood out of the season, existing heroes also show versatile uses, especially around Harsetti, contributing to the evolving meta through balance patches and other adjustments. However, we recognize concerns regarding the high metrics of certain heroes and are actively working to address this issue. With heirs' feedback in mind, our goal is to minimize unbalanced combat experiences and ensure that strategic choices are made by heirs, remaining meaningful in various combat situations. Furthermore, we will carefully monitor the pace of changes to avoid making adjustments too rapidly during this progress. God forbid you do anything rapidly. Next, we'd like to discuss the ban protection system. Here we go. As the second season utilizing this system came to an end, we are closely observing and analyzing the changes it has brought to gameplay. However, we intend to proceed cautiously when considering whether to remove or significantly modify the current system. That's what they said last season when 80% of the player base said they wanted it gone. 80% of the player base said remove ban protection or leave it in place only for champs and below. It was like 75% said get rid of it, and then another 5% said get rid of it for everybody champs and above. Let challenger and below keep it. The reason for this approach is as follows. First, the ban protection system makes it easier to build team compositions around specific core heroes, leading to more highly refined team types. Yeah, because everybody loves playing against BBK and 4 initiators. Everybody loves playing against... Did any of you guys run across the guy that was playing Elvira on third pick and then 4 books? And then he just let the timer run all the way out on all of his fights. And when his immortality was almost done, he would soul burn Elvira and put the immortality back up. Yeah, that exists. And that's an Emperor strategy, guys. You can take that and run it all the way to Emperor, because literally the person will have to top right out of the 30-minute long patch or 30-minute long fight, or you both take the L. Yeah. That's actually out there because of third pick ban protection. Third pick ban protect Harsetti is the reason Harsetti is 70% ban rate. It is such a backwards negative impacting system. Nobody north of champions likes third pick ban protection or finds value in it. I'm sure a handful of people out there do, right? There's a handful of people that thought Flan's buffs were nerfs. So yeah, they do exist, right? There's one in every crowd. But the majority of the community said we hated this system. Anyway, enough of that rant. This particularly benefits new heirs participating in World Arena for the first time. I agree. It should be in place for low elos. Let us keep ban protection for masters and below, or challenger and below. But get rid of it for champs and above, as it's damaging and it makes tournaments less engaging, less fun to watch, and it kills diversity at higher elos. As it helps them adapt to the game more quickly. Additionally, under the current ban pick system, bans occur after all picks are finalized, which makes it more challenging for counter heroes to function effectively during the ban pick process. Right, there are certain things you just can't counter, leading to certain meta comps, which means RTA is stale and boring. That's not a positive. That's not the positive you think it is, Smilegate. Team compositions heavily rely on specific heroes, may also face higher than expected risks, except that they don't. The ban protection system helps address these challenges, except it doesn't. Therefore, we will retain the ban protection system for the next season because we know better than 80% of the people who play RTA. Because Smilegate, you think you want it. You think that this is what you want, but you don't. You think you don't like it, but really you do. You see, you think you know what's best for the thing that you engage with thousands of times a day, but you don't know what you're really talking about. We know what we're talking about, and we know that this thing that you say that you hate, you really love, and if you just give it another half a year, you'll agree with us that you love the thing that you've been hating for the past over a year. Well, not over a year, but close to a year. However, we will continue to gather feedback through various channels and closely monitor game impact. No, you won't. No, you won't. Stop lying. I've always been very understanding, Smilegate. I've always been very, to the point where people have called me a shill and a white knight. I've always had your back on a lot of this stuff because a lot of things happen behind the scenes that the players don't understand. But this is not okay. It is not okay to say that you have heard what we say about our issues with ban protection and you're going to communicate with us and come up with ways to make it better, and you're going to engage with ideas and talk with the community back and forth on it, and several months go by and there is zero communication. And then you come out and say, we've decided, in spite of the thing that you say you hate, we think you actually don't like or do like it. We think you're actually wrong and that we know better than you, but we're going to continue to gather your feedback. You know what? If you gather feedback like this, feedback. I gathered the feedback. That's not gathering feedback. That's ignoring feedback. And it's not okay that you are gathering feedback with zero communication. You cannot strive to ensure errors a more enjoyable experience if you're going to ignore feedback. I appreciate the sentiment that you're going to gather feedback, that you're going to communicate with us, but so far, it's just been lip service, okay? I am very much a actions speak louder than words kind of guy. And right now, your words don't mean shit when they're the opposite of your actions. This is a huge, huge problem, Smilegate, and the community is very, very over it. Okay? If you're going to closely monitor and gather feedback, it needs to be more than listening to the 4 or 5 gold players who post negative comments in Stove. It needs to be actively engaging with the community and open discussion on what you're planning on doing and why you're planning on doing things. Not waiting 6 months and then just saying, we heard what you have to say, but we think you're wrong, but we're still listening. Because it doesn't feel like listening when the entire community says left and you guys go right.